help out with different cleanups and everything. So there's one happening today from 12 to 3 at Kaua'i Farms, which is right across from Kaua'i Beach. They have a big farm market there on Mondays and Fridays, but they're calling for help, so 12 to 3, and you can spread the word. And then on Tuesday evening, we're having an hour of deep meditation with Reverend Diane Decker, and that's Tuesday from 6:30 to 7:30, so please join us for that. And then Rob Jones out back in the camera, he's going to be doing our New Thought meet and greet for this month. So it's going to be Judge Thomas Troward. And he's going to be sharing about the life of him. He's a mystic that Ernest Holmes, our founder, gleamed a lot from. So he's a great person to come and listen to that. Rob is going to be, it's one of Rob's favorites too. Just like we've had a lot of people sharing about their favorites. This is Rob. So he is going to be sharing about that. And it's really showing about how 25% of our teaching is based from the philosophy of Thomas Troward. So if you're wanting to learn more about how we came about, how Ernest Holmes brought everything together, because it's a culmination of all the teachings that he has done, then please join us on Wednesday, 6:30 to 8. And then on Thursday, Rebecca DeRoos is going to be hosting her spiritual circle in Kalaheo. We are going to be having, this is where you can help Stephanie and I, we're the ones that are practitioner interns. On Saturday, we are going to be teaching what is science of mind. So it's part of what we need to do to become licensed. So we're going to be teaching all about what science of mind is, the history behind it, about Ernest Holmes as a man and and how he created this philosophy about spiritual mind treatment. We're going to give you lots and lots of great information. So whether you are brand new, been coming for a while, or well-versed, we welcome you to come Saturday from 10:30 to noon. And that's going to be, it's going to actually be really great. So I want to share that and invite you all to that. And then after service next Sunday, it's birthday Sunday, but we are going to be celebrating a very special birthday, which is going to be Reverend Patrick's birthday. Yes, he looks all surprised.
It's 6-0, baby.
That's a big deal, 6-0. So we're going to be doing a special potluck after service. We always have cake and we celebrate birthdays for the month. However, this time we're going to have a big potluck. So bring your favorite dish. Ooh, making lasagna. Ooh. Food brings the... I bet some folks who are watching online in their PJs are even going to come for that. And then out back in the bookstore, we do have May's Science of Mind magazines, which have great articles and daily readings. We also have Loya's new book and lots of great goodies out back, especially for Mother's Day. So if you need gifts or you want to find some more for yourself, it's all out back. And then save your dates for May, The Abundance Project 2, writing a new story. That's going to be May 9th, 16th, and 23rd. And there's a sign-up sheet out back. All right, well, thank you for your kind attention, and I'll introduce Reverends Rita and Reverend Patrick, who are back on island.
Yay.
Aloha.
Aloha, everyone. First thing I want to do is thank our beautiful, amazing team last week, led by Reverend Diane, that took over for us while we were gone, and thank you so much, and they really held down the fort, especially considering what was happening on this island that day. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. It was good to know that we have people here that support our center and can hold it in consciousness and love while we're not here. So, exactly. Yeah.
And as this island right now is coming together to help the recovery process, we were thinking this morning, this is also a part of the recovery process, being here, filling up with that spiritual power that is in us all, so that we can go out there and have the energy and the love to, for our recovery of the flood. So this is our time that we do every week to just focus for a moment on peace, to just consciously, not just for the world, but let's really focus in today about the peace that we are always first, and for what is going on our wonderful, beautiful island, and bringing peace to all of that as well. Yes? So, just take a moment of silence. And what I know in this moment, in this special moment called now, that there is a power called love that is moving through and as everything. And I know that all of the recovery and all of the discovery that is needing to take place at this time on our beautiful island, I know that everything that is needed is already there in the mind of good. And I know that Spirit has its way moving through and as everything. So knowing that, I know that everyone who needs assistance is already assisted in the mind of God. And I know that each one of us has that light that shines bright in any darkness that appears. So I just say yes, 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 yes. As together we affirm as one, and so it is.
So, welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Kauai. I'm so grateful to call this philosophy my home. As I go through my challenges in life, it is something that I can always rely on. And it just merely says that no matter what is happening, that God is right there. It's moving and living and breathing through each and every one of us. We live in a spiritual universe and backed by Spirit 100% of the way and more. And as we use our minds from that place, as we let that Spirit pour through us, our lives unfold accordingly. No matter what's showing up, we get to meet it with that. So that's it in a nutshell. Yeah, beautiful. It's really beautiful to see you all today.
Is there anyone here for the first time that I can't see, except, right here in the front row. I've already met them. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, just to let you know,
back there.
And there you go. We know something about you, just to put it right out. And we've made a list of a few things that we'd like to share with everyone. Are you ready to hear that? Are you ready to hear about them? Yes. Oh, and somebody else just walked in. We're not pointing you out, but you are. We're just.
You're here for the first time.
But you're here for the first time. We just said, is anybody here for the first time? And you walked right through the door. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And so we're going to let you know a little bit about yourself. So shall we? Alrighty. You are magnificent.
You are magnificent.
Yeah. No, that's a way to walk into a place, isn't it? You are magnificent. And the reason that we know that about you is because we discovered that about ourselves. And we know that we are just mirrors for one another. So shall we say it all together? I am magnificent. Now, right back there, oh wow, right where Rob is, there's this camera staring at us. That means that there are some magnificent people sharing this moment with us. And they come in every week, and sometimes they even live here, and they just don't want to get up and come down. And they're right here with us. So it doesn't matter because, well, who are they? We got to let them know, too.
You are magnificent.
Now look to your left, to your right, look up, look down. I don't care. Just tell somebody who they are. You are magnificent. You are
magnificent. You are magnificent. You are magnificent. You are magnificent. You are magnificent. Yay. All right, so let's just rise ourselves out of our seats and let's do our opening song with Maria Cristina and Luis on the drums.
Yes.
The words are in your program.
I think we're going to talk about some love here.
We are ever open, and love is healing everything. We are ever opening, rising up to spread our wings. We're all one in love. We're all one in love. All that we're made of reveals here in love. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine.
What I know right here and right now is there's only one power, one energy, one source, making itself known through all of creation, birthing itself in every moment through all of creation, each and every person, each and every part of nature, that source, that power, that light, that love is. And I know it is here, right now, today, and always in each and every one of us. And bring that consciousness, that love here today as one in this celebration. And we let it expand, we let it grow, we let it out. We let it out, we express it in the most amazing, magnificent ways. And I know our lives reflect that back to us as we are that power, that presence, that love, a light in this world. No matter what is happening, we are that light, that love, and we are magnificent. I know that, I claim that, and I say, just let the service go forth. Go forth and bless each and every one of us and out into the universe as we affirm together, and so it is.
We are ever opening, and love is healing everything. We are ever opening, rising up to spread our wings. We're all one in love. We're all one in love. All that we're made of. Rivers here in love. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine, let your love light shine. Let your light shine.
Good morning, Kauai. I'm Reverend Diane Decker. I'm a staff minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living, and I'm so glad you're all here today. Wonderful to see the island recovering and everyone back into their routines of being here with us on Sunday morning. Let's just take a moment and settle into our meditation time today. Thinking about what the island and all of its inhabitants have recently been through, I brought a quote from Ernest Holmes, who writes in the Science of Mind text, "We live in a sea of perfect life. We are surrounded by perfect life and poised in eternal calm. We live in a sea of perfect life. We are surrounded by perfect life and poised in an eternal calm." Enjoy your time of quiet. We live in a sea of perfect life. We are surrounded by perfect life and poised in eternal calm. Knowing that we live and breathe and move as expressions of this one life, this one power and presence, I know that life is unfolding with all its perfection in ways that we know and ways that we cannot understand. And so I speak my word today knowing that each one of us is a divine expression of that perfect life. That we move through our days as the divine expression of the one life. We are welled up with wisdom, with strength and power, with perfect health and abundance to meet every need that this perfect life brings into our experience. And so I give thanks that as each one of us contemplates the events that have impacted Kauai this week, that we somehow see that this is perfect life unfolding in front of us, and we are given everything we need to move with it, through it, and beyond it. I am so blessed and grateful to know that perfect life is living me and living each person here today. As creative expression, what is ours to do? As divine abundance flowing in and through our experience. As perfect health expressing as the divine energy in every cell of the body temple. And as loving relationships as we engage in our community and in our own families and in our own lives. And so I give thanks that this is all unfolding in complete perfection. There is no delay in the mind of God, and so it takes place right here, right now, with the sound of my voice. And knowing that it is already done, we simply give thanks for it and release it to the law of mind and spirit, which brings about the perfect result in this perfect life. Please join me in closing this prayer with, and so it is. Mahalo.
Words are in your program.
I've got peace like a river, peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river and it flows like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got love like an ocean, love like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got love like an ocean and it flows like an ocean. I've got love like an ocean in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain, joy like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain and it flows like a fountain. I've got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got peace like a river, peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river and it flows like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got peace like a river in my soul.
Thank you, Reverend Diane. Beautiful setting the tone for today. Thank you, Maria Christina. Thank you to everybody for being here. For those of you who don't know, I've been gone for 2 weeks. Started with my mother finally made her transition, kind of surprisingly quick. And then after that, we had already planned a trip to go to Los Angeles to speak at a friend's installation. So it was kind of like boom, boom, boom. So I've been through so many time zones and flew miles. And I mean, it's been a heck of a 21 days. Yeah, it's been a lot. And yeah, and I have learned a lot. And I want to share some of those things with you and how powerful this teaching is in my life, that I think I've said it before, that just because we practice this wonderful thing called the science of mind and spirit, whatever you want to call it, it's a universal ancient truth and ancient wisdom, doesn't mean that life is always, that you're always met with things that's, are, la, la, la. I mean, you don't live in la, la land because you practice this teaching, but you do live a more grounded and peaceful life in spite of everything that's happening in the world. So this week, this last 21 days, I got to call 911 two times, be in emergency rooms, bury my mother, come back to the floods on Kauai. I mean, it was like, it was a heck of a 21 days. Let's face it, guys. When we got the message last Sunday that you guys were flooded out here, we were sitting there actually at the service at Global Truth Center going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And finally we had to ground ourselves and know that everything was fine, and Reverend Diane could handle it, and everybody here could handle whatever was happening, and we could breathe and not get all wrapped up in the drama. Because sometimes I think what happens when things happen, instead of staying grounded and centered, we get wrapped up in it. We start flying around in the cyclone, And I think that one of the most important things we can know at this time on our planet is that we need to be centered. Whatever that takes, whatever your way of staying centered is, whatever it is, stay centered. Because we need this now. We need centered people. We don't need people that are flying into the cyclone with everybody else that's flying around. You know what I'm talking about, right? And it's not easy to stay centered. Somebody said to me, I was saying, wow, this is just like a lot. I was talking to my mentor, and he goes, Rita, we have big shoulders. We have to have big shoulders. How big are your shoulders? Well, they're really big. And you know why? Because you're not doing it. There's a power moving through you at all times if you allow it. And the topic of the talk today and then Sunday is let it pour. Yeah, let it pour, let it rain, but let it pour through us. Because it's waiting right there to pour through us. It's pouring through us, but the question is, how much of it are we allowing to pour through us? Because I know the more we can allow it to pour through us, the more we can open up and surrender our ways and surrender how we think things are supposed to be and how they're supposed to happen and try to fix everybody's lives and everything else. The more we can let go and surrender, the more it pours through us and the more we're able to meet all of the challenges that come before us. And then life does become easy and graceful, even in the challenges. I feel like it wasn't easy going back and being with my family and going through a whole big Catholic, really Catholic funeral. I don't know the last time anybody's here has been on a Catholic funeral, but I had to stay grounded and I had to stay and be a presence. Some of the times all I could be was a presence of love. That's all I could be, and honor my mother and give her what she wanted for her funeral and everything, and still stay true to myself. And stay grounded and be a presence of love and instead of trying to make everything go my way. And the only way I can do that was to let it pour through me and let it intuit through me and let it know that I have the right words to say all the time. I have know the times when I need to remain silent. I know the times when my brothers and sisters might be driving me crazy and and still not get dragged into it. And not that I didn't. I did a couple of times. I even made my sister cry once. Oh, my God. It's weird being the oldest because they actually pay attention to you. It's really weird. I forgot. I don't know if she thought I was going to get the hairbrush out or something. I don't know. If she was remembering the wooden spoon days or what. But it was like I spoke and everyone listened. It was really interesting. Anyway, but yet, grounded. Stay grounded. And, I was walking by the ocean the other day, as I always do. And, one couple of things happened. My first walk on the beach, when I got back, I realized I couldn't call my mother. That's like a really weird feeling, because I always call my mother on my walks. But what I did instead was I went, okay, I feel sad, and it made me feel sad, and, I had my tears and stuff. But then I said, but that's not necessarily true, because I can talk to my mother. And every time that happens to me now, because it happens a lot for any of us that have lost parents and want to talk to our mothers, some people don't, but I'm not going to go there. But it's right there. It's like it's right there if you allow it to be there. That was one thing that happened to me. And then the other was Reverend James, Dr. James gave a talk last Sunday called Allow Me. And that statement helped me so much this week. It was allow me. And that was the power saying, allow me to work through you. Allow me. It is so powerful statement. I just really invite you this week, if you're going through anything, to use that statement, and you can hear the quiet voice within you saying, allow me. I was walking by the ocean, and it was like talking to me through the ocean. You realize how powerful the ocean is? That's God. We're that same thing. So how could we ever doubt? How could we ever be in fear if we just say, allow me, and let it really sink in to our being? Allow me. There is not anything that could possibly be going on in our lives that this power that runs through us could not handle, if we allow it to, if we allow it to pour through us. So, did I use spiritual mind treatment a lot this month? Couple of weeks? Oh my God, I was always treating. What is spiritual mind treatment? It's pouring the truth into our minds. It's allowing the practitioner, Ernest Holmes says, begins to pour the uplifting truth into his own mind. We're acting in our own minds. We're all practitioners, all of us. Practitioners meaning we can know the truth in any moment. And so we know the truth in spite of what's happening, because the truth is, like Reverend Diane said in her prayer, is there's something perfect going on. We might not understand it, but there is an order and a balance to this universe that's moving through everything at all times. And it might look like it's chaotic, but it's not. It's just bringing harmony and balance to itself all the time. That's what it's doing. So if you could pour that truth into your consciousness, things shift. And they shift because you start to look at them differently. And you start to be able to be a presence of love, a presence of power, a presence of light wherever you're walking, so that you can lift others up. Because not everybody knows these things, right? Not everybody, and when you're in the middle of it, it can be hard if you're the one that's being, plummeted with the outside and the world of form, the world of conditions. But we have the opportunity to know the truth for our friends and our loved ones at all times. We have the opportunity, if we'll stand in that power and allow that power to pour through us. So that's my major thing today, is how big are your shoulders? You have big shoulders, and you have big shoulders not because of your little shoulders that, in your earth body. It's the shoulders behind those shoulders that are those shoulders, which is the presence and power of this thing called life, this thing called God, this thing, whatever you want to call it, I don't care, it's one thing. And it's moving and living and breathing through all of creation and through all of you and all of me and everything. So this is a lot. I don't know what's happening. I don't try to understand it. I just walk my truth no matter what. And I trust and I have faith. And I'm telling you, it works. And on a lighter note, Patrick and I found our home. But it was weird. Now, see, like that was a strange thing too, because we found our home when all these other things were, falling apart and being destroyed. And then here we are, like totally joyous and happy because we found our home. But I'm not going to do anybody any good if I get sad and depressed because I found my home and somebody lost theirs. That's not going to help those people. The stronger I can be, the more I'm going to help other people. But the way the home came, I had no way of knowing that was going to happen that way. I had given up, really, and that's probably when it usually happens. I go, I can't think about this anymore. I can't worry about this. I have to be in a new home by June 1st, and it's going to have to happen, especially with everything else happening in my life. This home is going to have to happen, and it just happened. I mean, it happened right before we left for the mainland. I mean, it was just like, okay, I won't go into all the details. But what I'm saying, if you get out of the way of how things are going to happen, when you treat for something, when you affirm, when you are receptive to it, it happens. And you'll go, wow, I would never have expected that. No, you wouldn't, because the intelligence that's moving through us and bringing life to us through us is so intelligent. It knows exactly how to do it. Ernest Holmes says, if the piece of information we needed was in the deepest, darkest part of the world, it would find its way to us. That's how intelligent this power is. So whatever is in your way right now, if you feel like something's in your way, if you feel like you can't overcome something, if you feel like it's impossible or you have no choice or the world's done you wrong or any of those things that can get in the way, I just would say, just like they're clearing the beaches of all the debris, I suggest that every day, I invite you every day to go in and clear it out and start affirming the truth to yourself. It's not that hard. I was just reading a book by Wayne Dyer in there. He said, you just keep telling yourself that. You keep telling yourself the truth. My home is here now. My home is here now. I can't see it, but it's here, because everything has to start in the spiritual world. It can't start in the physical world. You can't fix the physical. You can only fix, you don't have to fix. You can only state the mental spiritual world and state the truth in it. And when you believe it, you'll see it. So don't look out. Go within, no matter what's happening. We have it. We have it. We have it in here. And the spiritual life, like I said before, it's not an easy life. It's not easy to stay focused. And in the midst of challenge, it's not easy to stay in love when everything but love is coming at you. It's not easy, but it's so worth it, because when you do, as Malia knows back there, when you do, love meets you every step of the way as it pours through you. So I'm just grateful. I'm so grateful. And I have to say thank you to everyone, because I felt so much support. I'm so grateful. I looked on Facebook and there were hundreds and hundreds of messages to me, and and I felt so much love, even if you didn't write on Facebook. I could just feel it. I could feel the love, and it makes a difference. It really does. We don't have to be with the person to feel the love. We can feel it. They can feel it if we just stand in that presence and in that love. So thank you for that. All right. Mahalo, mahalo. And so it is. Yeah.
Please allow me to see myself in you, until no matter what comes, I always remember we are one. May I love all people and not so with all of creation and love, so that grace fills my days and you are all I see and think of. Walk with me, come talk with me, move with me, come close to me, dance with me in ecstasy, all the way with me eternally. Cosmic dancer, my closest friend, bringer of joy without end. Cosmic dancer, where have you been? Please come and dance with me again. Immortal beings with compassion, and I am complete as I am. To where I need nothing could only be with you holding my hand. I live my life with you. arms tonight. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm flooded in the starlight in your arms tonight. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm flooded in the sunlight in your arms tonight. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm flooded in the starlight in your arms tonight. Everything's gonna be alright. Cosmic dancer, my closest friend, bringer of joy without end. Cosmic dancer, I'm so deep in, falling in love again.
Yes. Thank you so much. We missed you, by the way. Even just a week, even 2 weeks, it's like the golden, I call you guys the golden child that we missed so much when we were there, so it's so good to be back. I want to start with a quote that I have used many times, but for some reason, wherever I'm at in this moment and this time, it really, really struck me, and it's from Ernest Holmes. There is a place in us which lies open to the infinite. But when the Spirit brings its gift by pouring itself through us, it can give to us only what we take. It bears repeating. There is a place in us which lies open to the infinite. But when the Spirit brings its gift by pouring itself through us, it can give to us only what we take. And this makes such sense to me when things don't work out for me the way I think I've got it planned. Because my only job, as it were, is to stay open. And we have a lot of distractions out there, don't we? Sometimes that can pull us away from that. But this morning I was lying in bed and I just breathed in, and I thought, all of these thoughts that are going on in your mind right now, Patrick, they're going to be a memory by the end of the day, my friend. And as a matter of fact, they're going to be a memory by breakfast. And as a matter of fact, they're going to be a memory before you even get out of this bed. But they are so important. They are so important. I thought of this idea of pouring, and I'm thinking, what's that feeling to when we're saying, let Spirit pour through us? It's not even that it's outside pouring in. It's just allowing ourselves to be just immersed in this energy, in this flow, in this power. And once again, it's delicious. Delicious, yes. I was thinking of a time 5 years ago almost, when I was in Princeville, and I call it the fall of Princeville, when I fractured my shoulder and I had just got here. And I know that seems to happen to a lot of people. They go, I'm going to Kauai, and then all of a sudden, whoop. And they go, what's Mama Kauai telling me? I don't know, but what it was telling me is I tripped over the branches, the roots that were in the tree. But I remember Rita wasn't with me. We were getting ready her to be here. And I remember walking the one day that I couldn't drive because I had my arm in a sling. And I had never fractured anything in my life, ever. Shows what I was doing in childhood. Nothing. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so I said, I got to go to the store. And, there's the market there. And I said, I got to go, so I'm going to go anyway. And so I started walking, and and I could remember that day because I was totally into victim. I was like, yeah, here I am. I tried to give everything to Kauai and CSL Kauai, and here I am walking with this and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, and it was like, I've never had a pity party while walking that was so fun. And I got there, got my package, right, put it in there, and here I am with a sling. And I'm walking, and it starts to drizzle a little. And I'm thinking, Of course it's gonna drizzle. So I'm sitting there thinking, oh, but it's a mist. So I'm just gonna walk in the mist. Then the mist started becoming a little heavier. And I'm going, well, they say it rains all the time here. Of course it rains. That's why I'm falling. And then I'm starting to tailspin into my negative victim thing. And then all of a sudden it starts going more and more and more. And then the bag, of course, is starting to get, so I'm like this going, and it's starting to like fall. And it just keeps pouring and pouring. And I'm dodging under trees. And I'm doing all this. And I just know everybody that's driving by is like looking at me going, oh, look at that poor guy. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm getting wetter and wetter and wetter. And then finally, I stopped trying to get wet. I stopped it. And I just go ahead, let it pour. And I'm just whoa, there it is. And all of a sudden I'm just drenched. I mean, you can't get any wetter, right? And I'm still trying to protect myself. And I'm walking, and the thing is starting to go. And then it really helped my pity party because I just knew everybody was looking at, oh, that poor guy. He's in a sling, and he can't even hold it. So I thought to myself, let it pour, let it pour. Sometimes we just got to get out of the way and just say, let it pour, man. I'm not afraid to get wet. I'm not afraid to get wet. And if I get wet, I just know there's a wonderful hot shower and clean and dry clothes later on. We don't need to be so worried. This month was all about living life to the fullest. Hello. About as full as you can get. And it was when I was in LA, I thought to myself, I want to be a full-time spiritualist. And not the kind that contacts disembodied spirits, not that spiritualist, but the person that lives fully from this principle, from this thing called spirit. And I thought, you know what? Sometimes I think that things aren't always happening the way we want it because we're part-time spiritualists. Part-time spiritualists. We don't do it on purpose, I'm sure. And you're not going to get anything, no marks against you if you are. But I thought, whenever things are not aligning in my life, it's because I'm doing a part-time spiritual practice with it. And it was the same way when we started this center. They wanted us to be, one of us work full-time and the other person part-time. And we knew very much by living in Los Angeles how part-time being an actor can turn out for you. Yeah, plan B, that beautiful plan B. And so we said, no, we're full-time. And because of that full-time, I believe we got full-time results. I really do believe that. Thank you. And so I'm thinking, sometimes it's nice to be part-time because you don't have to be fully committed. Right? Hello. Yeah. Yeah, it's true, right? When I do a part-time thing, and I'm really getting this with spirituality as I evolve, when I do it kind of part-time, and what I mean by part-time is that means that sometimes my life is spiritual, and then sometimes I'm getting the job done. And I'm thinking, oh my God, as Spirit pours through me, as me, it's everywhere I am, in every situation, in what happens here when we were there, and you can use your spirituality. I was telling somebody when I got the text and we were sitting in the middle of meditation, it was hysterical because Rita's going like this, look what's happening. What? And then I started spinning, right? I spun so far out of my alignment that I had CSL, this building, floating out into the ocean and people screaming to the top of their lungs. And I was going, okay, now we got to get a fundraiser together because we have to rebuild CSL Kauai. This is how off the spiral we can go. And I'm not alone on this one. We get one little thing that's happening, right? And we take it all the way. I mean, I had all of you like going in boats saying, there's some of the bookstore left, and I'm thinking, whoa. So what I did was, because I wanted to be 100% spiritual, I went back. And here I was in the middle of meditation. And I went back and it was still wanting to spin. I said, just keep it. because what it wanted to do. And then my mind so spiritually said to me, you have no time to meditate. There is worrying to do here. You've got some worrying to do. What's this? What, you're just going to have some meditation time and stop worrying? And I'm thinking, wow, this is what we're up against. And it was wonderful. I don't have time for meditation. I've got worrying to do. And because the more I worried, the more I thought I was a part of everything here. Oh, if I can worry for that. And then I said, no, what are you going to know? I know that Spirit is moving through everything. And I know that there are no mistakes and no accidents. And I know that there is something wonderful happening here. And I'm saying yes. And I know that we have leadership here that is just taking care of everything. And if you were meant to be there, you would have been there, but you weren't there because you need to be present where you are. And we had some chaoses while we were there too, to help some people that really needed us to be there. And the very, very close friend of ours on our way out before we came back. So when I heard that there was 35 people here on last Sunday, my heart just broke open. And I'll tell you why. Because I'm thinking, you know, I don't know about you, but center, church, call it whatever makes you feel good. But usually I would know that any excuse not to have to go would used to be my little thing. Oh, there's a traffic jam? I think I'll stay home. And then this was like I said, how many people are here? So this told me something. And it really shifted me as a minister and this ministry and what we are doing here. And this is not just a Sunday church. If anybody asks you that, this is not a Sunday center. This is a full-time center. But what it told me is there is a divine purpose to us being here. We have come together for a divine purpose. And the roads were closed on each side, and the people still were able to get here. So it made me think of what this philosophy really does for me personally. And I don't know if any of you were here Friday night, were you? Raise your hand. Yeah. Those people, you can even take a stand right now because the people that participated, would you stand up and you were there? Yeah. There you go. Okay, good. There you go. Now you can sit down. You had your Friday night. Okay. No, I just. But what I got from that is that this is a practical spirituality that we're working with now. And I really mean this from the depths. I've watched each person come up, and if you're wondering what flying solo is flying solo with 7 magnificent participants came up and they told one by one a story that 10 minutes or a few minutes more. But that was the whole thing. And as we watched them as proud parents, what I knew is because there was this wonderful spiritual thread that was going through the evening with these participants. And what I realized is that all the theories in the world are lovely. All the mediums telling us about this and that and past lives and what I did here and what I did there, it's fabulous. All of the great mystics who told us, including our wonderful master, Jesus, who came forth and said a lot of good things, but it means nothing. It means nothing if we do not use this power. And that's what I saw on Friday night. I saw a group of people telling a story, which is powerful, but how you move through your story and how you come over here is called the beginning, middle, and end. A lot of us are living the one over there and forgetting that we need to go through it. And the way that we go through it is by allowing Spirit to move through us as love, as power, and moving through that. And I really got that as a clear message that all of the information, it does you no good if I tell you who you were in a past life, because I just experienced some of that myself. It does you no good unless you're going to say that's the past. Sometimes I think we are addicted. And I know we don't like to use the word we, but I'm going to do it anyway because I can't. We sometimes feel addicted. We are addicted to our past because it's still that part of our identity. And I'm saying, what would it be like, Brene Brown? What would it be like if we stood center stage, with the light upon us and through us, and said, I'm ready for a new story. I'm ready for a new one. Because you're going to get a new story whether or not you like it or not. And this is what I found out when I was in LA, a few people had a little conversation with. If you don't make a decision for your life and how you want to live it, it will be made for you. And sometimes, I don't know about you, but other people don't always know what's best for me. And so I am learning that this thing called spirit that's moving through me and as me, I want to be a full-time employee. Full-time. And how do you do that? You do it by going back again, back to center, back to what Rita was talking about. We go beyond our stories. I heard this wonderful thing. I went to visit someone in the hospital yesterday, and she was a therapist before she retired, and she said, I used to tell my clients that I am here, I want to quote her, I am the place to catch your tears. And I realize that this, what we have created here, is absolute sacred ground. And it's important. And it is important, as Rita was saying, for us to live our lives to the fullest, to be the examples of what really can be. And so people say, well, what do you do? I feel sad about everything that's occurring. Well, of course you do. You feel sad. But the other part of us says, yes, you're in darkness, let me be your flashlight. Let me be your flashlight. So I used to say a couple of years ago I was an ambassador for good, and I still believe that I am. And I want to do that again full time, an ambassador for good. And what I learned on Friday night, and we're learning with our beautiful little children that come here now as outreach, and we bring them here on Fridays, it's just a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to remind ourselves of who we are. And it's that childlike, little child energy that is just demanding that it be heard. And that's what we heard on Friday night. There was the little children on there demanding to be heard. And let me tell you, if you don't listen, I don't know how many of you have children or have had children, or you will listen eventually. Because I have an inner teenager that caused so much chaos in my life. That inner teenager said, man, you got to listen to me. And so I'm now listening. So in closing, I want to read this again, that there is a place in us which lies open to the infinite. But when the Spirit brings its gift by pouring itself through us, it can give to us only what we take. So when you're looking at your life and you're saying, I wonder why this isn't fully working out. Like the home is a good example that we'll use. I just love it because I stood up here. Do you guys remember the day I stood up and talked about the house? Used you as our networking moment. I remember someone saying to me, Patrick, would you settle for, not exactly your little list of everything that you and Rita want? I said, absolutely not. Why would I settle? I haven't even started. And that's a big message for all of us. I'm a biggie on no negotiations, no settling, and no deal making. And so we kept, and people would have something, and it kept falling through. It was falling through because we finally said, yes, pour through me. Pour through me. Show me. So, because I was trying so hard to find the house that the house could not find me. I was trying so hard, and it just made me think of one closing thing with when on Friday night I talked to one of the participants, and he was talking about, I said, you did so great. You did so great. And he said, yeah, I got out of the way. When we get out of the way, miracles happen. When we get out of the way, your life happens. When you get out of the way, Spirit moves through you as you. Hello, spirits. It's so beautiful to look at, this God, looking at God. Do you feel that? Because you look a little stunned right now. Just so you'll say. So that is it. It is so good to be back. It is so good to be 100% present. For all of you that are new here for the first time, this is how we always are, by the way. Yes, you're magnificent. Namaste.
This is for all of the people of the world. May we awaken together and remember who we are, why we're here, and how to live together. Ooh, forever. Ooh. Let's be sensitive to the needs of the earth and the vulnerable living oceans, remembering to attune to all of life, for the world is alive, the world is alive. Ooh, the earth is alive. Ooh, Om Shanti Om. Oh, Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Let's live together. Let's live together. Let's live together in peace together. Om Shanti Om. 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 Om Shanti Om.
Thank you. Thank you. So, this is our time of giving, and I just want to express our sincere gratitude for all the donations that come into the center, and gratitude that we have a tithing program, because we do, and 10% of what is given here immediately goes out. So when I go and do a QuickBooks, which I do, I take 10% of it out and I put it in a place. So fortunately, it was there, and we were able to give to a lot of things on the island this last week, so that was really awesome. Yeah, it is, and we continue to do that, so thank you in advance for everything that you give here today that helps to sustain this island and also goes out into the world and also comes back to you in a million wonderful, amazing ways. That's what I know. So there is an affirmation in our program that we can all read together. I freely and joyously give from the abundance and fullness of my overflowing wealth, knowing my gift goes with love as it touches and blesses Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, my life, and the world. And so it is. Join us in the Karen Drucker song, I am so blessed.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed,
And so we take this gratitude that we're all feeling for all that we have, and we bring it into affirmative prayer, knowing that there is enough and to spare to give and to share. I give thanks that Spirit has flowing through each one of us in such a magnificent way that we have enough to give. And so I give thanks for these generous offerings, knowing that they go out into the world to do good work on our island, in the world, as Rita said, and then returning back to us multiplied abundantly. Mahalo.
Hello. So it is.
Thank
and
you.
we also want to thank the online participants.
Yes, thank
too,
you
that-
to all the people that support
also
this
donate.
this island and this center from all over the world. Mahalo. Yay.
Thought I heard a cat. but
Okay,
that
I
was
think
just
we have
me.
some kids. We have kids on Friday now, and we have kids on Sunday.
They're
Who's here
everywhere.
today?
We got George out there with the
Lee,
one.
Lily.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Moen, Ruby,
It's like the Von Trapps,
Amelia.
-3.
Actually, these are our powerful actors from Friday acting class, too.
Oh my gosh, they are. Look at you guys.
So, George, watch the speaker over there. Yeah. All right.
I've already done that. Okay, today we did a little bit about kindness, and
And
since
Malia.
this isn't about me, I'm going to let Ruby talk. Oh, Lily. Lily talk.
They're all more confident now because they have their. Make sure you talk into the mic.
So today what we did was, first of all, we got a bunch of little pieces of paper and we started writing kindness. We wrote hearts on it and we also wrote love on it. And then we played a game where there are 2 lines and then you have to start at one line and take steps to the other line thinking of kindness.
Oh, fun. Beautiful. So I know you're not. Oh, you have a present? Oh. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That is sweet. Thank you. They are. They're amazing kids.
are.
Yeah, they're amazing. Thank you.
Right.
So let's give them their.
Oh.
You have that for them too. Okay, you can pass those out.
Yeah.
But let's
Okay,
give
so
you.
she's
Let's
got-
give
they
them their
got
blessing
kindness for
first.
you, too.
All right, you ready?
Okay.
You are
Are
amazing.
amazing.
You
You
are
are
perfect.
perfect.
You
You
are
are
magnificent.
magnificent.
And we
We
love
love
you. And we send that out to all the children in the world.
We
Thank
do.
you. Okay, they have something to pass out. So
right.
while they're passing that out, would the practitioners that are in service today and come up here?
There we go.
We have a
Thank you,
wonderful
Amelia.
gift for you should you choose to enjoy it, and that is that you have the opportunity to come up and, all right, I'm losing the audience. They're getting love. All right, all right.
Can't
Give them a
interrupt
moment.
love.
I don't
Yeah.
want them to miss what I'm going to say, though. All right.
Okay, this is good.
All right.
You ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Back to me. Okay. Back to them. So anyway, we have a gift for you from our practitioners. Deborah and Reverend Diane are here to do a spiritual mind treatment with you. Should you, and Malia, yes, thank you, Malia, who just celebrated birthday. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yay. And Rob, back there, he'll be up here in a moment. Anyway, so if something's come up for you or something is coming up for you that you would like to know the truth about, these lovely people are here, high in consciousness on demand, as James calls it in his center, greatness on demand. God, spelled as God. Anyway, so they're here to see that God in you and that presence in you. So please utilize them. And if you need something further, like a session, they are available for sessions, and the sessions are at a charge. But today you just get to have a spiritual mind treatment of them should you need it. So please take advantage of them. Anything else?
I think we're good.
Yeah, and don't
Everybody
forget
went-
Patrick's birthday party next Sunday.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll
6-0.
be reminding you.
Okay.
Plenty of shopping days left till. All right. Did I
right.
say that? I did. Everyone, let's
Let's
go ahead.
get up and do our last song.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day.
And we know that it is a sunshiny day. And we bless the rain as well. There's no cursing the rain. It's all one thing. And I just know that right here, right now, we are letting it pour, letting the good pour through and as each one of us. And I give such gratitude for this wonderful sacred community that comes together to remember how magnificent each and every one of us are. So I just bless, and with gratitude, I also bless Michelle for those wonderful power announcements that she gets out and uses all her words to do it. And we have our Malama team with Sue, Angela, and Emma, who came out there to say, yes, it's time to greet you, to greet your greatness is what it is. Jonathan and Rob on our technical back there to make sure that we are live streaming off this island and to make sure that we are heard. And so I just bless Ron Stover and that team. I know Charles was back there today. Charles from Flying Solo was back there getting some stuff ready for us as well. And Maria Christina, and Luis, thank you so much for bringing us this wonderful music. And Reverend Diane for that wonderful, wonderful meditation. Thank you so much for all you do. And we also, the collection counters, I never bring them up, but I know that Sue Buckley and Glenn are back there counting up the abundance as we speak. And so I'm just so blessed. And George, thank you for being so good to our wonderful children, and Janice back there too, who is just making sure that the youth is our next voice in this thing called life. So knowing that, I am just so blessed for each and every one of you. I'm blessed for everyone online. I am blessed for this Reverend Rita to be back on the saddle of this wonderful, wonderful thing called CSL Kauai. And I know, that's right, give it up for Rev Rita. And I'm never one to do this, but I've just given a blessing and a thank you to Patrick, Reverend Patrick, because I can. There you go. Almost 60 years old, Patrick. Yes. So we just say thank you. Thank you, Spirit, for having your way with each and every one of us here and in this entire thing called life. So we just let it go. We let it be. As together we say, and so it is. Let's see clearly.
Look all around, nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Aloha.